Welcome, new friends and old. Welcome to our shared journey of the Spirit. We are grateful you are with us this morning. My name is Miles Gorman, and this is Soren Jensen. I have a bit of a cold, so I apologize for my voice. We are members of the youth group, friends of the students bridging today, and we are so pleased to welcome you to this morning's service.
If you have questions about...
If you have questions about all ages religious education programming, please see Nick Wallwork, our Director of Religious Education, after the service. You can find out more about our choir from our musical director, Michael Rosen. Our AV technical director is Alex West. Our congregational administrator is Katie Julik is here. Can't read most weekdays and is happy to get your emails.
Just can't read today, apparently.
Our DRE, Director of Religious Education, Nick Wallwork, will be leading our service, teacher appreciation, and bridging ceremony this morning. Wait a second. Okay. We skipped ahead a little bit, folks. Being in Sunday worship together is one way that we learn who we are together as individuals. We are a spiritual community that appreciates the importance of the practice of appreciation and acceptance. We look for ways to empower each other in our spiritual growth, supporting each other through our journeys of birth, childhood, youth, and adulthood. Worship is a space for. In this time of worship, goodness, y'all, my apologies. Our notes have gotten a wee bit scrambled. In this time of worship, as we are all always learning to listen, we understand that if you have a need to leave for a conversation or to help somebody with a need, if you are a person who gets overwhelmed by sound and stimuli, our parlor is a very quiet room where you can listen and watch the service. If you need to talk, you can watch and listen from the library. Following the service today, we will hold our annual congregational meeting. We will vote on the slate of officers, the 24-25 budget, and the endowment allocation. Next week following our service will be our annual picnic. Tim, where are you, Tim? Is looking for volunteers. So if you would like to help out, please contact him and talk to him after the service because we are so grateful to have your help. We have many announcements and our orders of service online and on paper.
Across the generations, we have carried the flame. We fought for justice, sang the songs, spoke the truth, and built something lasting. We joined in the line and we carry the flame forward. Should work.
Turn it on. It's on. You're good. Across the generations, we are tending the flame. Hand in hand together, we share in the work of fighting injustice, singing the songs, speaking the truth. And we are here to build something lasting. We join in the line, and we carry the flame forward.
Across the generations, we have been nourished by this flame. We are singing new songs, breaking old barriers, sharing in the work. And as we find our own space in what has been, we are here to make space for the next person as well. We join the line and carry the flame forward.
Across the generations, this flame comes to us. We are here for the songs, for the justice in the community, sharing the work. We are here now to build something new and lasting. We are here, ready for the new day together. We join in the line and we carry the flame forward. Light the chalice. No. Let us read our chalice lighting together.
stand if you'd like.
I need to call the little kids forward. We have important work to do here. Come on up. Come on up with me. Go sit in the middle there. You guys know where to sit. I'm going to drop this. Okay. Who else is here? Come on. Where's Great? Okay. Great. Okay. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Carrie Davis, and along with Caroline Blanchard, we are co-chairs of the Children and Youth Faith Formation Committee, also known as the RE Committee, or Religious Education Committee. I'm going to start today's teacher appreciation ritual with words from Beth Brownfield. Can you imagine a school in which children attend once a week for an hour? Attendance is optional. Teachers volunteer on their day of rest. Children have a variety of teachers, and teachers change the lesson plan to fit the community. My dictionary defines miracle as a marvel, outstanding accomplishment. To me, the miracle of religious education is the volunteers who come to do a job and are transformed by the subject and delighted with the children. It's the enthusiasm of people working and learning together. It's knowing that children want to be here. It's knowing many people give so much of their time and energy to lift up our community. An important symbol for the Jews is the menorah, which remembers a great miracle happened here. Perhaps our lighted chalice should remind us a great miracle happens here every Sunday.
In gratitude for the miracle that is religious education, let us recognize our teachers and our children. Let us give thanks for the program year that has ended and the summer that is beginning. Today we recognize the children and youth of this congregation who are involved and those who are involved in their education. The children and youth who have come together to build a community, to learn from one another, and to live out their Unitarian Universalist values. Good job, guys. Where's my youth at? Good job. Acknowledge them. The call to be involved in education is a high calling, as those who teach our young people help shape and present and the future of Unitarian Universalism. We give thanks to the sacred woven in among us, for the teachers, youth advisors, youth mentors, and parents in our community. We celebrate your calling pledge to support you and other communities who are involved in the lives of our children and youth, and praise our hands and bless you in the ministry that affects and changes us all. We pledge our support to parents and guardians. Part of our role is to encourage and strengthen you for children, for the care of children, youth, and young adults. Children and youth, we lift you up in our caring hearts and minds as they develop in our community. We believe in you and care about your education, both here and outside the fellowship walls.
We seek out together the courage, wisdom, and strength to make positive differences in our lives and the life of our congregation. May we be open to the grace in teaching and learning together. May we feel free to give and receive forgiveness when we make mistakes. May we strive to have intercultural and anti-racist lenses available to us when we examine our learning. May we be understanding with each other when we struggle. May we notice when a student needs something that we can provide. May we recognize the many gifts that children, youth, parents, and teachers bring to us. May we remember to be kind with each other, knowing that in kindness, the great love that binds us all is present.
So if you taught RE this year, volunteered, could you please come on up? We want to give you something and say thank you. So I know some of you are in here. Some of you are taking the day off. That's fine. Youth advisors as well. Great. All right. Hey guys, we're going to give them just the ones with paper particularly, okay? Let's stay. There you go. Hang on. Not yet. I'll give you your cue, don't worry. We got to do all the pomp and circumstance. You know how it goes. It's graduation season. Dear friends, you are a major part of the great recipe of this congregation. As such, today we share with you a mug. Oh, I forgot mine. My mug. These handmade mugs by a local artisan, just as it will be filled with warm and nourishing liquid to comfort us, we thank you for the warmth and comfort to our children. And just as it can hold a cold, refreshing liquid to sustain us, we thank you for the refreshing sustenance you give to our children. And just as it can be filled with energy-giving liquid that gives us a start to another day, we thank you for the energy that you give our children as they start their lives as Unitarian Universalists. Now you guys can give them their presents there. There we go. Very cool. Come on. We know them. Okay, over here. There's some over here too. I know, everyone just wants to give them to their moms. I get it. All right. Everyone got one? Who's missing? I got it. There we go. No, we got enough, don't worry. I hope. May the blessing that we have shared together today and the blessing that each of us are in this community be present in our minds as our summer begins. Now, this is not in the script. We're looking for volunteers next year, and we need more folks. This is half our team, but we need even more than that. Huh? You might get a cool mug. We'll see what happens next year. So if you want to volunteer and hang out with the kids next year, let me know afterwards. All right. Thank you, teachers. One more round of applause for them. Kids, you guys can go sit down too.
Yeah, we're good. All right. Every Sunday, we include in our worship of Sunday service, our Sunday worship service, a time to share and acknowledge significant life events, births, graduations, deaths, and other significant life accomplishments, losses, and changes. Not all the milestones or passages that we have experienced will be shared aloud this morning, but we remember in this moment that we need not be alone, and it is possible, even essential, that we share our lives with others. It is in our deepest sharing that we will also find our greatest strengths. As we read from the gratitude card submitted too, because when we feel despair and greed, denial or anger, or even numbness or disdain, these feelings can disconnect us from ourselves and each other. Gratitude frees us to celebrate what is good, and gratitude frees us to celebrate what is good. My apologies, there seems to be a little bit of discrepancies in the script. Gratitude frees us to celebrate what is good and to look for the good and possible in our lives. We share just a few of our many gratitudes as a reminder of the power of this spiritual practice.
We didn't get any pink slips, so I'm going to do something very risky. I'm going to ask you all to yell out some gratitudes if we have any. Anyone want to share? Raise their hand. You can do this. It's risky with this crowd. Go for it, Paul.
Our 40th anniversary was this Monday, and we're pretty happy.
Paul and Helene's 40th anniversary. Very exciting. Shari?
My son just turned 37. I do not know how to have that.
Shari's son turned 37. We do get older. It's crazy. Congratulations. Yeah. Sorry.
My granddaughter's successful surgery on Wednesday.
Sandra's granddaughter underwent intense surgery. Very successful. Beth?
We have one kid who lives in San Francisco and one in Boston. We got to see them both this week.
Oh, 5 postal children coming together. What do we got over here? Oh, for your cousin's birthday party. Yeah, that was very exciting. All right, we got birthdays. Oh, we got one up front. Yep.
Gratitude for this community.
Gratitude for this community. Janine is here. We've had us in our minds, and I have one up here. I knew I wouldn't hear you from up here.
Gratitude for my granddaughter who went to her junior prom.
Excellent. Her granddaughter went to junior prom. Oh, man, we are.
My grandson graduated 2 weeks ago, and today he is heading to New Orleans to start teaching.
And the Chu's grandson. Excellent. All right. Oh, man. I really have opened a can of worms. I saw Barbara first. I'll get over here.
My son David, who started his music here at the fellowship, is now teaching music and directing choirs and bands.
Excellent. Yeah, Barbara's son. Excellent. Yeah.
My daughter Yvonne is on vacation with her boyfriend, and in the Garden of Giovanni, he proposed to her.
Oh, very exciting. A proposal. All right. So much gratitude, so much to be thankful for as a community. Let us come together in thanks for that. I was going to do like a nice, quiet, centering thing, but there's so much joy and energy in here. I want to keep that going. I'm thankful for you all for being here. I'm thankful for our teachers, our bridgers who we'll celebrate in a moment, and all you do to make our community a wonderful one. Thank you for being here. Thank you who are online. Thank you. All right. No. I can take a break. Nope. Oh, is it Michael? Michael first. Song first.
Please stand if you'd like. I seek the spirit of a child anew. Meets my naturally, the child who sings the world alive and reads the morning songs with thee. Children are in the on I sing joys again my heart.
our bridgers forward. Charlie and Augustine, come on, stand up in the front here, and then anyone else who's part of the ritual here, come on up. I got it out here for you all. No, you gotta stand right here, because you're gonna march. All right. Who's going first? Everyone, right? Isn't that what? Alex? That's all right. We're going to read some parts together. They're going to read some parts. We're going to get it together. It's going to be good. Today, we honor the youth among us, you who are stepping beyond and away and toward. Today, we share in your journey and encourage your discovery.
Today, you cross... Is it working?
Yep.
Oh, my bad. Today, we welcome your energy and offer you a safe place to grow. Today, we celebrate your hopes and dreams. Come live, breathe, thrive, and rejoice. Your time is now.
Today, we applaud you for all you have been, for all you are now, and for all you will be.
Today marks an ending so that I may begin again to hope and to do and to learn and to be.
Slide. Today, wait. Together we learn, together we love, together we grow. Oh, sorry. That's all right. We'll get the other one later. All right. Keep going.
Today you cross this bridge. Go now and make choices that make you happy. We will support and nurture you. You are amazing.
Today you cross this bridge. Be patient and hopeful. We will support and nurture you. You are an inspiration.
Today we cross this bridge and join in fellowship. Let us grow, but don't let us go.
Now give us out. Today we cross this bridge. Go now and explore with wonder. We will support and nurture you. You are the future. Yep.
We present to you two symbols of significance. The chalice embodies our Unitarian Universalist faith, and its flame, with its flame illuminating the path of truth and acceptance.
The rose, with its beauty and thorns, symbolizes the complexity of life's journey and our congregation's confidence in your ability to handle life's challenges. As you transition into adulthood, may you find strength in both the warmth of community and the resilience of your spirit. And Kendall and I were the youth coming-of-age mentors for Charlie and Augustine, respectively, so we're happy to be part of this today.
As our mentors, can you give them their gifts before they make the metaphorical bridge? I want to thank the Comez's for this bridge. It's very lovely. And I have a fun story. There we go. Those are you. We got a slideshow there, Alex. You guys can cross as the pictures go by, or you want to look at them all. That's fine. You can do whatever. Augustine and Charlie, as you step forward into the next chapter, we send you with the fondest hopes and blessings. May life bring enough challenge to fuel your dreams, enough affirmation to honor your gifts, and enough nurture to give your spirit peace. Believe in your vision. Follow your dreams. Know always that when you return to us, you will find the hands of friends. May your mind be on fire with wonder and wisdom. May your heart be aflame with love of this life. And may your hands be ignited with purpose. And may your spirit be aglow with courage and compassion. You are the light of the world, and you carry our steadfast love with you wherever you go. Go in peace. Thank you, guys. All right, you guys go. It's fun to celebrate those things together. We also are here in our ritual and time together, so let's start with a reading, who I sprung on this morning. That's what she gets for coming early with Dad.
A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream to the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through the bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, and he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees. And the fat worms waiting on the dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But the caged bird stands on the grave of dreams, and shadow shouts on a nightmare scream, and his wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
Our offering today will be split with Westcap, I believe. Or did that change? No, with nourish.NJ, I'm sorry, to help with their fight against summer hunger. You can donate in all the ways listed in the bulletin, or OOS.
Congratulations to all those who have bridged, and thanks again to all the wonderful RE leaders and teachers. I chose Simple Gifts today, and that's the song we will close with later. Because what's the simplest thing you can give? The simplest gift? It is your time. It is your time. You don't need talent. You don't really need anything, but volunteering and time makes a world of difference. Just extra time my music teacher gave to me after high school, and who influenced my life greatly to be a musician. As Nick said at the plea for needing more RE teachers, you don't know how many lives you are touching just by volunteering. I can't make this work without volunteering. The choir has been wonderful, which has grown so much in the last few months. I'm so pleased. Look how many singers we have. Tim on the drums, all these wonderful generosity of time. So that to me is the simplest gift, which is why we're doing this anthem today, which is a wonderful arrangement of this anthem by Mark Hayes. Thank you.
Tis a gift to be
Thank you, choir. That was, get me going. One of the many new things that strikes me about Unitarian Universalism is the way that you all talk about yourselves. As many of you know, I didn't grow up in this tradition, grew up Presbyterian. Like Michael, you guys left us in charge up here today. As Presbyterians, we're going to do everything decently and in order. But the way you all talk about yourselves, not just here at the fellowship, but across the UUA, and though you are a religion, technically, right? It's how we file our taxes. And your religion has deep roots, both globally and here in the States. In fact, both Unitarianism and Universalism start in the Christian tradition. Unitarianism versus Trinitarianism, which is a complex theological concept we don't need to get into today, debates back to the founding of the Christian religion. In fact, a fun story that I like to tell, again, we're not sure how true all these things are, That at the Council of Nicaea, where they were discussing this in the year 325 ADE, or CE rather, I'm sorry, St. Nicholas, who we get Santa from, a staunch Trinitarian, got so enraged by these uppity Unitarians that he punched one of them in the face. True story. As true as we know it is from 2,000 years ago, right? Who knows? But it seems that the first real establishment of the Universalist church, which, as our partner church committee can tell you, happened in, anyone know? Transylvania. Very good. Likewise, the debate about universalist salvation, and then it finds its way across the Atlantic here to the States. Universalism does, or Unitarianism does. Likewise, the debate about universal salvation began early in the Christian church. Instead of a debate over heaven and hell, Universalists believe, and purgatory, that's what the Catholics add to kind of make things work a little bit. Universalists believe that there was no teaching of hell in the Bible, which is Christians' primary scripture, and that study of the Bible is what led me from there to here. I agree. There is no discussion of what we decide as hell in the Bible. And in fact, there was not this teaching in the early Christian church. It wasn't until about the 5th century that this became part of its doctrine. In the 5th century, Augustine combines Christian teachings with his Hellenistic philosophy that he grew up with and creates a new theology of a vengeful God that needs to be appeased, similar to that of the Greek gods of his youth. But that's not found in the original teachings. Universalists were on first to that. And then Universalism was brought here to the States through the great state of New Jersey. You guys saw a picture of our kids at Murray Grove and then on to Massachusetts, spreading. Both religious streams became about so much more than that very brief history could contain. They started incorporating teachings from world religions, modern philosophies, and including their deep history. And they merged to become the Unitarian Universalist Association in 1961, which is where we trace our roots through the fellowship movement. However, even though we are a religion and our organization, our rituals, and our devotion to history and recitation of the principles can feel religious, that's not how UUs talk about themselves. That's not how good UUs conduct themselves. I've heard it used by Reverend Allison when I first started here, Reverend Sasha not too long ago, preached during General Assembly, and written on DRE message boards that I spend a lot of time on. We are part of the Unitarian Universalist movement. Now, this always struck me as an interesting phrase, that they would use the word movement. At first, I was thrown by it. I had grown up working in social movements. I was part of an early LGBTQ movement for marriage and ordination equality in the church of my youth, the Presbyterian Church USA. I, in fact, skipped my graduation to serve as a youth delegate and argue on behalf of my LGBTQ friends on the floor of General Assembly, standing up against conservative ministers who had much more education and standing within the church than I, a lowly 17-year-old. I would go on to work with one of those ministers, actually, this is an aside, and through many personal conversations, he would admit to me that the work he did standing against LGBTQ folk on the basis of Christian scripture was wrong and one of the greatest regrets of his life. And that's a story for another time, but an amazing one. I was a proud member of the Teamsters Union while working at UPS in college. I marched against the Iraq War, a war that used the tragedy of a terrorist attack to justify violence against innocent people, even though that was already planned by conservative elites with little regard to human lives. These things still happen. Early dates with my now wife were at the Save Darfur rallies, protests in D.C. to prevent that genocide from happening. I've been part of local climate marches, college sit-ins, spent time with Occupy Wall Street, took my 2-year-old daughter to the Women's March, and to protest outside of Frelinghuysen's office. I'm sure several of you were there here in Morristown. I've been part of a lot of movements. So when these UUs started using this word movement to describe their religion, I wasn't too happy. But the more I learned about how many UUs move in this world, how many of you were at some of those things, women's marches, protesting in front of Frelinghuysen, climate marches and such, it began to make sense. And it began to make me love you all even more. And so what's the difference than a movement and a religion, at least in my mind? Well, movements are forward-looking. They are looking to make big changes in the world. They are constantly trying to bend that moral arc that Dr. King spoke about towards progress. Religions, on the other hand, seep in their tradition and hold on to it. One would say, hey, why do we do X, Y, or Z? And they will say, because someone a long time ago wrote it down in a book, told me who we didn't know, wrote it down in a book or a scroll and told us to do it. That's why we do it. Now, that's not to say history and the sense of where we come from isn't important. I know when I talk about looking forward, a lot of people are like, well, you're just going to ignore history? I love history. That's my favorite thing. How many historical trips do we go to? All our vacations are based around historical things. I love history. It can teach what has worked and what didn't work. It can give us a sense of purpose. It can direct that movement. But history for history's sake is nothing more than just trivia. It has to inspire and inform and guide. It can propel us forward in our movement. Now, both movements and religions are organized. That is where they are a little bit similar. They often have sets of guidelines or covenants or even formal structures, good, decent, and order structures the Presbyterians have. It's a big old thick book. There are leaders or organizing committees, and though their organizations can be very different, some seeking strong central leadership and others creating more consensus-building methods, both religions, there's still a shared understanding of how things work with both religions and movements. A good organization that's clearly communicated and understood seeks to support the work of the movement or religion that leads to its success. However, there is a difference between how religions and movements are organized. Long-lasting, powerful religions, you know them, tend to have a more top-down organizational structure. The most obviously being that of the Catholic Church that has a pope, one guy says everything. But many religions have strong leadership that telling people how to behave or what to believe, or they have a central figure that guides that as well. Think Muhammad, the Buddha. There is this kind of other that tells them what to do. But good movements are formed among the people. Good movements are grassroots. They respond to the needs, desires, and wants of the people within them. That means that movements can change and evolve over time, just as people who are part of them change and evolve. Just as new people join, old people leave, movements can change. Lastly, movements are about doing something. They can be about making change or creating a better world or influencing the way individuals behave. Good movements, successful movements, have both specific and broad goals that are easily articulated and communicated, both by folks within the movement and folks outside the movements. Those mission-driven goals are our movement, hence the name movements. They are actions to end the war, to seek equal protection under the law, to free the slaves, to save the earth, to end gun violence, each movement doing something. Now that can seem like a silly thing to say, each movement doing something. Aren't we all always doing something? You're just sitting here, that's something. Yes. But the goal is to accomplish something, to maintain what has always been, or what tradition tells us, well, that is the hallmark of a religion. To continue doing the same thing just because it's done for many centuries, that is a religious move. The pitch for religion usually goes something like this. For the last 2,000 or 5,000 or however long years, our ancestors have always done these things, and they have found them meaningful, and therefore you should join us in doing these same things, and then you'll find them meaningful. It's a rough pitch. It's hard to sell. I tried it for a long time. Whereas a movement's pitch are more along the lines of, we are all coming together to do certain things. And we need each and every one of you so that we can accomplish these things. Right? Togetherness, action. And this is what we are celebrating today. We are honoring our bridgers. These are our youth who have learned what our movement is about. Hopefully, it has impacted you to continue this movement wherever you go. Not just to make more UUs, though that would be great. We need more members in our ranks. But to create a better world. A world where the inherent worth and dignity of all people is seen, and where there is justice, equality, and compassion in human relationships. As you leave your childhoods, your homes, maybe not physically, there is a shift, and our RE program. Know that we are always here to support you, to comfort you, to help you as you work in this movement. We also shared our appreciation for our teachers this year. For our teachers are not just teaching our histories, principles, and traditions, though they do a pretty good job of that. I know I'm waiting for beginnings class to share with us next week all of what they've learned in the principles there. They are preparing our young ones to be part of that movement and to stop wrestling your sister. It is not just this year's teachers, but all the teachers and teachers that have worked with the young people over the years. I just want to take a moment. If you have served as a volunteer with any young people in this congregation at any time, can you just raise your hand real quick? There's not a whole lot of people not raising their hand. Thank you all for that you do. All of you have been active participants in this movement, creating a world where there is acceptance of one another, where there is free and reasonable search of truth and meaning, and where there is the right of consciousness and democratic process, something we need these days. But even for those of you who are not part of those groups, our teachers, our bridgers, you are part of this movement. You have joined us if you have joined us at a protest, written letters to politicians, signed the Green Amendment Pledge, or written letters to those who need care, donated to our split plate, donated to the building plant campaign or the work the fellowship does. Get your pledges in. I'm really enjoying those coins on the thing out there. I want Tim to glue up some more. Or sat with those in need, served one of the many food programs we participate in, planted flowers a few weeks ago with the children, or joined in one of the many social action programs that we have led here at the fellowship. You too are part of this movement, a movement that creates a world where there is peace, liberty, and justice for all, where there is respect for the interdependent web of all existence. So if you're new here or online, or you've been coming since the good old days, please join us. Join us in creating a world full of interdependence, a world that celebrates equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, justice, and love. I invite each and every one of you here today to join the movement. Friends, if you are a member of this congregation, we have a meeting afterwards, but there will be lunch first. The meeting will start at 12:15. If you want to pre-fill out your ballots, you can come in a little bit early. That'd be helpful for all of us. But there will be lunch immediately afterwards, a quick one. Be back here at 12:15. We'll start ringing the bell there for you. Friends, go from this place, part of this movement, making the world a better place. Amen.